Clips. And remember, citizens, the only way to survive and thrive is to subscribe and hit the bell. $19.95 plus shipping and handling will keep you out of hell.
Tonight at 11.
Doom! It's a plan! And I'm angry! I'm not a slave! I've broken the conditioning! It doesn't work on me! I'm primitive, I'm real, I know the enemy, and if we can have this spirit of normal humanity spread, it's over for the globalist! Break the conditioning now! Excuse me.
This is not the Infowars Nightly News, where the answer to 1984 is not $19.95 plus shipping and handling, but the answer is to try and understand the double-barrel bullcrap, the double-speak, and the Orwellian wonderland we now find ourselves in. So sit back and relax as I take you through a real alternative look at the news and so-called alternative media alike. Enjoy. Clips. Alright, YouTube's another one of clips. In the evening, the folks in the chat. Punk, how you doing? Devo, Blazing, OG Skywatch, and Roberto Carlos. I'm glad you're more. Got a giggle out of Mr. Magoo, aka Joe Biden. And welcome to the original, the OG baby, alternative look at the so-called alternative media. Skeptical, with the spectacles, about the so-called skeptics, and watching the motherfucking watching. Anyway, welcome to not the Infowars Nightly News. The original alternative look at the so-called alternative media, which for some reason they don't like you doing. Love you to rip the BBC a new arsehole. But start pointing out the flaws in Alex Jones, David Icke, Itchy Richie, and the rest of the sugar plum fairies. They don't like that. Point out the fact that the UK column aren't independent journalists, they're a political charity. They don't like that. But anyway, in the evening, one and all, thanks for joining. Make sure you stick a wee thumbs up. Much appreciated. It helps the algos and it helps me sleep at night. And at the moment, with the latest reality TV show, aka the Ukraine war, I'm doing a wee East meets West news comparison at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Monday, Friday, so check it out. Lisa, that's very true. There's not very many people that still have their channels as long as I've had my channel. Because I'm Deep State Illuminati, baby! That's why. Is it? That's how I know you're older than me, because you hit your midlife crisis, man, and ran out and bought some skinny ass jeans, hoping to be down with the kids. I'm rocking it old school, man. I'm going to keep the jeans that I like long enough that they'll come back into fucking motherfucking fashion. See the trainers that I wear? Do you know how many times they've been in fashion? I bet 5 times in my lifetime since I've worn them. That means 5 times I've been fashionable just because I've worn the same pair of trainers for fucking ages. But anyway, hold on a second. Something permission. Oh, shut up, you fucking hell. But aye, hopefully the audio's okay. Oh, shit. 2 seconds. I've got to light my shit. I can't be having that. Right, hopefully that. Keep an eye on the incense, they're fucking... They smell amazing, but the fucking pain in the arse to keep it light and all that. It's the ones that you get from the Indian ones. Ones that you answer, apparently. But I fucking keep forgetting to light that shit. Enough in here. It's too windy to open the windies. Anyway. I've had to do 2 folders this week because I've been using the old Chrome. I've been using the VPN, the visible panty line, on Chrome to access the RT and stuff, because if you use the one in Firefox, for whatever reason it seems to slow my Firefox down to shite, whereas it seems to work very well on old Chrome. But first and foremost, what I'm going to do is have a wee look and see what oh shit, I nearly remembered the guy's name. The Strictly Come Dancing president in Ukraine. Hilarious the wee deeds. You know, see how Hillary Clinton was. I don't know if trolled. I don't know if trolled is the right word for it, but how Hillary Clinton was destroyed when it came to the you know, you would think Hillary Clinton should be dead by now, wouldn't you? According to the way they were writing up her health and all that during the election campaign against Trump, you know, the one she lost. Well, she didn't lose, but she did lose, but she didn't lose, but she did lose. I know. Go figure. And it was a real good example of how the internet and just mass smear campaigns, you know? They just like make up a sort of a half-truth or find her stumbling or something, and play that on repeat through all the echo chambers, and before you know it, everybody thinks that she's a geriatric. You know what? It worked really well. It worked really well, man. It destroyed her character to the extent that anybody who wasn't pro-Clinton, if it was in the room with anybody that was pro-Clinton, they would turn into a... They start pointing at all the fucking clips they just watched on YouTube the night before of Hillary Clinton falling over the place and whatnot. Anywho, first port of call I wanted to get to is not these things, but I do want to touch on them. Shit. I want to go and touch on fucking Alex Jones. I want to fuck Alex Jones. Yeah. Some amount of fish. Right, aye, this is what I wanted to get to. Right, so this is a world first. This is the first ever time that a world leader, a president or prime minister from a foreign land has directly addressed the Houses of Parliament as they sit. Like, it's obviously happened in different settings and whatnot, if you get me. You might think it's semantics and stuff, but this is the first time the House has been addressed. Let's have a wee shifty. I've not seen any of this shit. This was today. That's them, not me, by the way. Get rid of your echo, sack the sound guy. Cha-cha-cha! I think he should come on in his wee sparkly pink number going... Cha-cha-cha! 1, 2, 3, cha-cha-cha! 1, 2, 3, cha-cha-cha! I think he should. It'd be brilliant, man. It'd mix shit up. It's modern politics. Modern politics. We get fucking leaders virtue signalling to the Houses of Parliament. I mean, I'm pretty sure he gets his fucking violin out, man. Better squeeze some Holocaust shit in here. In fact, he's Jewish. Shit, that was it. Yes, come on, the new Saints! Sorry. Random football teams that I've got on my line. That's coming in, that's coming in. Yes, Bournemouth equalised as well. Come on, Bournemouth! Get a fucking winner. I need Liverpool to beat Inter. Ooh, baby, I could still come in. Oh, shit.
All the members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen. I'm addressing all the people of the United Kingdom and all the people from the country with a big history.
Fuck's sake, you lazy bastard! You're fucking addressing the mother of all fucking parliaments, you prick! The least you can do is speak your mother tongue. You want us to fucking start dishing out fucking fighter jets? They've got them, by the way. Let me think. How did they do this? Poland gave their MiGs to America, and America gave their MiGs to Ukraine. Because they can't. They need shitty MiGs to fly, because that's all their pilots are able to fly, you know? Because they're, like, Russian. They can't fly Western fucking jets. There's too many computers and gizmos. There isn't a vodka tube coming down.
I'm addressing you as a citizen, as a president of also a big country with a dream and big effort. I would like to tell you about the 3 days of about the 13 days of war. The war that we didn't start and we didn't want it. However, we have to conduct this war. We do not want to lose what we have, what is ours, our country, Ukraine. Just the same way as you once didn't.
I do prefer him in his shiny cha-cha-cha outfits compared to his military fatigues. How pathetic! You know what I mean, mate? You're a fucking comedian turned actor turned president, and you're bouncing about fucking dressing as if you're in the fucking army, you fucking spare prick.
Want to lose
Cha-cha-cha.
started to fight.
I speak to you, the mother of all parliament, as the winner of Strictly Come Dancing. Did you see my cha-cha-cha? Did you see my jazz hands? I think my jazz hands alone is worthy of Air Force. Cha-cha-cha.
Your country. And you had to fight for Britain. 13 days of the struggle. On day 1 at 4 o'clock in the morning, we were attacked by cruise missiles. Everybody woke up. People, children, the entire Ukraine.
Davo, he's speaking some foreign muck-muck language. I mean, this is the absolute fucking epitome of a lazy beggar. The motherfucker's begging for a fucking Air Force, and he can't even muster up the fucking mother tongue English. Fucking lazy bastard. And you best believe he speaks. Oh no, hold on. He's not European, he's fucking Ukrainian. He can speak Russian, he can speak Ukrainian, but he can't speak fucking English.
And since that, we have not been sleeping.
Cha-cha-cha.
We have all been fighting for our country with our army. On day 2, we have been fighting airstrikes, and our heroic military servicemen on the island Zmini have been trying to fight.
We have been telling the citizens to use Molotov cocktails because we are doing so well in the military. Our heroes.
Russian flag, when Russian forces demanded that we lay down the arms. However, we did continue fighting, and we did feel our force.
Right. This isn't heartfelt. You can tell this isn't heartfelt by these wondering eyes. Either there's a big fucking hot blonde that keeps doing a Sharon Stone or whatever, crossing her legs in front of him, or he's reading from a script. Watch your eyes. There we go. There we go. You can actually see. Teleprompter free! I'm teleprompter. What's that? Tell them I'm teleprompter free? Yeah, I'm teleprompter free! Come on now, Red!
Artillery started fighting. Who we are, and we have been able to see who are people and who are beasts.
Aww! Where's his Churchill speech? Or you can go and listen to this plonker. He actually goes into Churchill shit. Well, not quite Churchill because he's saying it in some foreign muck-muck language, you know? Woo! Oh, man. Aye, well, I don't know if you heard Punky. Like, there was rumours that he'd done the bow and he wasn't in Kiev. And now he's like, I'm staying here, motherfuckers. So, plus, I think he's one of those actor types, Punk, that just falls out of bed, looks ready to rock and roll. But that camo t-shirt definitely makes him look like Commander-in-Chief. But I definitely prefer him in the pink sparkles. The sleeveless pink sparkles. Cha-cha-cha. Doing the cha-cha-cha. Okay. Now, this is him as well, apparently. He's a man of multi-talents. One of his other side hustles is head of the Manic Street Preachers. Isn't it? It's him. Well, according to some people. Thought I'd throw that in there. Right, let's see if I can find some Infowars to watch. Look at this. Oh no. What's the Infowars thing I had? Lost it, man. It was like Alex Jones' words of nuclear Armageddon again. Live now. This is the only Infowars that's allowed on YouTube still.
The rarest minerals we get are from Russia. None of that is allowed now in. And that's going to hurt America further. But don't worry, Russia's now going to sell everything to who? To who?
China! Woohoo! How did it? Oh no! Inter Milan went 1-0 up. Fuck you, Inter.
China will have energy, and China will have rare.
Come on, Liverpool.
But we'll have nothing. You'll own nothing. You'll have nothing, and you'll like it.
Woo!
That's why Buttigieg and the head of the energy department and all of them said, oh, it's a transition. All being done by design, squeezing the little guy, just like the lockdowns. Oh, your small company's not essential. Oh, your business is not essential. But the big companies, they are essential.
Where's this cunt's mute button? Is it just like a
really,
voice?
Going back to being a senator, was
this
the
live?
globalist in charge of Ukraine. It's kind of like his little duchy, his little fiefdom.
Oh, there we go. Oh, just need a break, man. Come down for the tangerine. Hi. Yes, Inter get a red card. Sorry, I'm just getting the updates. Come on, Liverpool. 2 goals. 30 minutes. Anywho, let's get back to Alex Jones.
And if there was ever anything that was going to tip the balance, were it to be tipped in terms of a vigorous and hostile reaction, I don't mean military.
Is that Biden?
So the way I look at the calculus here is...
All right, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. And what was happening around that time? They
Is that
were
Joe
bombing
Biden?
Belgrade and bombing Serbia, and they gave 1/3 of Serbia
Or
to
Mr.
Muslims,
Magoo.
Albanians, to ethnically cleanse, and the Russians sent in Russian troops into the Pristina airfield to stop the full handover of the country to the Muslims. So they know exactly what they've been doing the whole time. MTG is going to pop in with some breaking news and a bill she's introduced and her take on a lot of issues in the next segment, and then I'm going to continue on with our World War III coverage. But I can tell you this.
Oh, yes, World War.
Right now,
Alex, I was way ahead. I was doing World War III coverage during Syria, mate.
Some huge folks and do some other meetings and things. And I'm probably still going to go, but I'm watching this very carefully. Things are so dangerous. World War III could kick off. I may not go. I mean, that's how dangerous and how bad.
That's how bad it is, man. You better stock up in your tank.
And just believe me, I got some interviews set up out there that'll break the internet. It'll be as big as my Joe Rogan podcast. I mean, how could you top that? Well, use your head. There's not many ways to. So it's that serious.
You're moving into porn.
I genuinely know and believe there's a good chance we're going to see a regional war break out and then a nuclear war. It's the great reset. They want to get to 90% population reduction by 2030. That's the official goal.
Alex, shut the fuck up, you fat fucking fear-mongering
and we'll think of the breakdown of civilization and the energy price.
Alex Jones thinks you're fucking stupid. He's warned you about fucking Armageddon repeatedly for how many years now? Fucking fat fucking charlatan fucking motherfucker. The sooner you die of a fucking heart attack, you fat fuck, the better. What the fuck are you, a fucking hamster or a gerbil? Storing your food in your fucking fat cheeks? You fat fuck. Fucking forgot how much this prick fucking gets under my fucking skin. Takes an ingrown toenail and before you know it, man, you're dead. Fucking fat fuck. Teleprompter free! What's all that fucking 10 forests in front of you, you fat fucking charlatan? Doesn't matter if you're reading it through a fucking screen or a fucking bit of paper, you're still all scripted, you fat fuck! Oh my god, man. I hope you end up dead with a fucking AR-15 bullet in your fucking head. They put it down to suicide. But all your wee minions fucking gather round their tangerine fucking gods and fucking start conspiracies that Alex Jones was took out because he was just too fat for the government to handle. Oh my lord, man, this fucking fat charlatan motherfucker. I'm trying to think how much of my fucking how long it was I fell for him.
Horrible. And I refuse to rationalize what's going on and like not make it a big deal in my brain.
Teleprompter free! Teleprompter free! Yeah, fucking fart, fucking spin artist. Ugh! Sorry. Fucking does my picture.
Extremely upset about it. And just this stack alone right here is unbelievable. You know what happened? They had 3 more universities with
It's like WWF.
The damn COVID.
It's worse than RT America.
And it's 100% made by Moderna, and it's 100% made in 2016. I had family and friends die. They murdered people I know and debilitated other people. I'm so sick of Bill Gates. I'm so sick of Barack Obama. I'm so sick of Hillary Clinton. I can't even look at him anymore.
Ooh. Oh my god, man, Alex Jones is...
A month ago when the CEO of Pfizer said, oh, we actually make whole viruses artificial in the lab. We did make COVID-19. People went, what do you mean you made COVID-19? He goes, oh,
you called it like you did in Y2K?
Just to cover their ass. Now the head of Moderna went on Fox News.
Y2K?
And admitted
Nibiru, fake snow.
That, okay, it's man-made, big deal.
Calls for the Illuminati that
with all the top
Oliver Stone and
look at it, they go, like, you know, a 57 Chevy when you
Jesse Ventura's son were fucking receiving.
You know what a Christmas tree is, or what Santa Claus looks like, or you know what George Washington looks like, or what Jesus looks like. I mean, you know you know what the Hindenburg looked like, and they look at it and they go, good God, this is the most ridiculous man-made virus we've ever seen. It's got all the codes, how it was cut together. It's synthetic. None of it's real. It's not even pieces of viruses. The whole damn thing is synthetic. And then I gotta look at this little chicken neck weasel up there like it's funny that they made it and they killed all these people. And then they shut the economy down. And then they...
Oh, here's like tears. I love it when Alex Jones cries.
Hundreds of billions of dollars. And now they're up there giggling and snickering. got a stack of that. I got stuff
He's lost it.
Just this story alone, you could make 20 movies about. You could talk about it for 1,000 years. This is the crime of the century, and that's just one.
That story alone you made from fucking 20 movies, you fucking fat cunt.
Struggles to answer why COVID-19 contains patented gene sequence. It's 1 out of 3 trillion that you could find that. And that's just in the wild, much less a company that makes those things that was at the center of it, owned partially by Bill Gates, having it 3-4 years before the virus is released. Impossible. It's one thing to say 1 out of 3 trillion, this could occur naturally in nature, but then the very...
I'm trying to remember, Blazing, if Alex Jones had hair the last time I watched him.
Impossible. 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 Impossible.
Now scientists...
It's just like a big fat Texan, man, even more. Well, he's always been just a big fat Texan.
Patented by Moderna 3 years before the pandemic began. Your reaction, Stefan? What can you tell us?
So, my scientists are looking into those data to see how accurate they are or not. As I've said before, the hypothesis of an escape from a lab by an accident is possible. You know, human makes mistakes.
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World
Hold
Order.
on.
It's Alex Jones.
That was the lying mainstream media saying something Alex Jones is using to prove that what he's saying is right, even though he says it is coming from known liars.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. You're listening to Alex Jones.
Ooh, copyright strike me.
Coming up after Marjorie Taylor Greene leaves us in about 10 minutes. We're going
Another couple minutes at Alex and they'll batter through the other stuff.
With Biden cutting off any imports.
Reactionary, Alex is right on this one.
And many other things as well. Europe says they're going to follow suit.
Well, it's your own.
I don't support Putin invading, but at the same time, I don't support sending troops in and this going into a full-scale war. I want to get MPG.
Well, that's the thing, Blazing. Alex Jones jumps on any bandwagon.
Absolutely bring accountability to how these voting scams are going on, not just across the country, but particularly inside the House of Representatives itself and so much more. So it's great to have you back with us, Congresswoman.
Hi, Alex. It's great to be back on with you today.
Well, you got the floor. We only got about 9 minutes. Where do you want to start?
She's my kind of
Well, I just want
congresswoman.
to comment on something you just said, and I think it's so important to talk about it. I actually fully agree with you. I do not at all support what Putin is doing with his Russian troops. They've invaded Ukraine, and many innocent people have died. I think the death toll is somewhere over 400 of civilians. And while we're completely against that, I think the decisions that are being made right now are going to further isolate Putin and push him into the arms of China. And I think that is a great mistake. I think that the Biden administration is handling this all wrong. And sadly, all I hear is the drums of war here.
He's not crazy, he's an industry plant. Are you talking about Alex Jones? Who cares? See, my honest opinion, Alex Jones, he's an opportunist. If you look at him from his early days to now, he's an opportunist that will jump on any bandwagon. And he certainly has his flag nailed to a mast, which, in my opinion, over observing Alex Jones over numerous years, he never really hides it. He's deep down fundamental Christian wasp from Texas who loves his guns. He's never really hid it. Yeah. Yes. Hold on, I need to check my... Let's listen to a wee bit of Alex Jones and the sexy congresswoman.
Bill you've introduced.
Well, my bill is the Congressional Voting Accountability Act. I'm very excited about it. Since I've been a member of Congress,
Oh,
I've
come
spent a
on,
lot of time on the
Bournemouth.
House floor calling for recorded votes.
I need
The
Liverpool
reason why this bill is so
and
important is
Bournemouth.
it would stop Congress
Ah,
from
Bournemouth's fucked me.
passing bills by voice vote. That's where just there's a handful of members of Congress sitting on the House floor and they simply say yes and no. Well, there's 435 members of Congress, Alex, and this bill.
Well, I think I'll leave Alex Jones there. You can obviously go and catch up with him on your own time if you want to. It appears nothing much has changed. Obviously, he's loving this Ukraine thing. He'll be pushing the nuclear angle. And let me try a wee experiment. Keep it. Oh, I'll show you what I'm laughing at, man. Iodine pills. Infowars. Two days ago. They'll be punting them again. Come get your head. Ah, fuck you, Bournemouth, you fucking lightweight bastards. Fuck me for my pudding. Anyway, I was laughing at that picture of Alex Jones with his top off, man. So take away from that what you want. The guy has a massive financial incentive to just suggest maybe, possibly, up to, could be, maybe, up to nuclear war. Scare the bejesus out enough people so that they might spend that, whatever it is, $20, $40, $60, whatever it is for your iodine pills. Now you can say it's just being sensible. Or you can say, when I go to the survivalist store and buy all my freeze-dried food for the apocalypse and then I see on it, use by dates, best before. Cracks me up. The amount of that shit probably gets flung out or turned into horrible mush. Never gets used. But anyway, I just wanted to see if Alex Jones had any iodine pills for sale, and no doubt. This was something a link somebody shared with me earlier on. And stay tuned. Later on, at the end of the show, we'll take the Scottish school children sex survey. Or we'll have a look at some of the questions anyway. Brought to us by this gentleman who's the Scottish Family Party, who are part of a wee group that are protesting all this SNP fucking crazy shit, in some people's opinions. We'll have a look and see what you think. I'm quite liberal when it comes to all that shit. And I don't fall under the caper Peter Geddon or anything. But on the other hand, some of you are just like, wow. But anyway, we shall have a look at the end of the show. In the meantime, I'll share this link. It will take you to the channel, if needs be. You can look at all the other stuff that's up there, including the sex survey. If he's want it. Yeah. Alex Jones in Bohemian Grove. Oh man, that was so earlier on in my New World Order journey. It's untrue. And that shit's well convincing for a bunch of fucking rich motherfuckers wearing costumes, prancing about like idiots in the fucking woods. Anyway, so we'll have a wee look at this stuff at the end. We did 8 holes. Yeah. There's a bit of eye candy. I don't even know what that is. Somebody shared this link with me. Is this, that isn't Twitter in it, no? It's something similar to Twitter, and I don't know. Is it like the right-wing Twitter? The uncensored Twitter. Oh, here was a channel somebody shared with me earlier on, and thanks, buddy. I've not had a chance to look at it all yet, but have a look, decide what side this guy's reporting from, but it is footage from what is reportedly front lines and whatnot. So, people want to keep up to date with the Ukraine thing in me check. Could be link for these all. Nemesa. Imagine the first impression for a person. English is not his first mother tongue. How it can be Alex Jones. Acoustic contaminator in Japan. Okie dokie, picking a pokey. I subjected myself to enough of the beautiful warship this afternoon. As I said, every afternoon, Monday to Friday, you'll get a wee East versus West comparison. Oh, this was a very interesting video that was brought to my attention today. I'll share this channel as well. No, I just like to share the love. He's got a few wee bits and bobs. This came up because this is just the YouTube grapevine. A pal contacted me. Wow, look what's happened. Charlie Veach, she's disappeared. Obviously, as you do, you click on the link, go to his channel. Can't remember exactly what it said, right? But the wording of it, I could tell that it hadn't been copyright striked or community guideline striked or anything like that. Then he put his channel back up. Then he comes out and says, holds up a smashed mobile phone, says, "This is my soul. People have been trolling my family or something." And I can sympathise with that, because there are some backward windy looking motherfuckers out there who are ostracised from society because they're fucking backward idiots and don't know how to behave. And they don't know right from wrong, what's acceptable in society, so on and so forth. They're like borderline rain men windy lickers who put them and give them autonomy over a computer. It's a bad thing to do, because they act in the most atrocious ways. It sounded like that is what happened to him. He built his channel, put it back up. And then my mate went, aye, well, that's, well, maybe, but he is prone to fucking a big bit of bullshit. You know, because I didn't know this was his only source of income, so I don't know if it's donations that he gets it monetized or whatever. Either way, I didn't. Aye, Charlie Veach is Scottish, mate. He's a North. I think he comes from Aberdeen, somewhere Teuter, somewhere where they shag sheep, shag and flip. He was kicked out of Glasgow. Anyway, so watch this. This is very interesting. My mate told me he was prone to absolute pure porky pies, violin out to garner sympathy from his idiot subscription base to get money, basically. And I'm like, wow, you're being a bit harsh here. And then he pointed me in the direction of this guy's channel, who I just shared. He's got more stuff like this.
6 years old. His name.
Oh, and just to caveat this, the reason I've never followed this prick or ever liked him is because of the Ian Tomlinson shit. I don't know if you can remember this. Ian Tomlinson, oh fuck, I don't know if I can remember it. I couldn't even put a date on it. Let me think. Right, wait, man. Early 2000s, I would say. Right, I'm guessing. Stick Ian Tomlinson's name in, you'll get it. He's dead now. So what happened was there was some sort of a protest going on, which this prick was there covering for his YouTube channel like he fucking does. He get caught up in all the protests and all that. Ian Tomlinson was a newspaper guy, I think. Something like that. Trying to walk home. His route home was where all the protesters were. And this is when the cops started doing their kettle and shit. So, long story short, he couldn't get through. He was trying to get through. He was walking up to the police line asking to get through, and he had his hands in his pockets. And he get pushed down to the ground. He fell, hurt his head, he had his hands in his pockets, he fell, hurt his head, fell awkwardly, and his injuries ended up leading to him dying. Charlie Veach then ended up on the BBC getting interviewed, talking about how Ian Tomlinson was steaming drunk and he was angry and shouting at the cops and all sorts of fucking bullcrap. Fucking absolute fucking... He was just saying shit to get on fucking TV, the fucking moron. And then his shit's panned out. You can see he's a fucking fame-hungry fucking whore. And let's get back to the clip.
Was Marcos Torres. He
get the
was taken
violins
into
out.
the ICU with COVID-19 symptoms, got tested, got confirmed, and he died 24 hours later. Very.
OG, he's also bounced between pro and anti-Palestinian sentiment. I think the guy who done Love Police Way was a Jew, if my memory serves me right.
Pissed off, very sad. Just a week ago, I did a memorial video from one of my good friends who died. There's a lot of death going on. It struck someone close to me already, so... yeah.
Aye, Ian Tomlinson get pushed with police reactionary, aye.
There's a time for mourning. I just wanted to tell you all, because it's relevant to these videos.
Right, so his uncle, his lovely big favourite fucking uncle died. Oh! And that was May 2020.
And in the interests of just public discourse, in my family, in the wider family, which has aunties and uncles and cousins and in-laws, two people got the coof. Semi-badly. One of them had to be hospitalised for a day. But it is a bit, you know, in the interest of transparency, when you're like ranting and raving and bullshit.
I'm pretty sure Danny Shine's the guy who done Love Police Way, mate. I think he's the guy that... he's Jewish. To say he flip-flopped on 9/11 was an understatement. And if I remember right, did he not end up in some BBC programme yet again? Not only was he interviewed, and the interview was broadcast with Charlie Veitch talking about what a scumbag Ian Tomlinson was after he'd just been murdered by the police on the BBC. He ended up on the BBC yet again with some sort of I'm an ex-conspiracy dude narrative 9/11 shit. I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves me right. So whatever angle you look at it, he's deep in the fucking street. And evidentially, he's absolutely full of shite. And he'll come out and spin you a yarn to harness sympathy to get donations. Like his uncle died of COVID. Weird, innit? Weird. But just the Machiavelli, like he's put like that BBC interview with Ian Tomlinson when he just fucking pure lied and twisted and crazy. Go and have a wee shifty about. I'm pretty sure you should be able to find it. Charlie was flown to New York as part of a 9/11. It was real documentary. Then he flipped. He does seem like a bit of a fame whore, doesn't he? Anyway, Charlie Veitch came up. I shared this guy's channel with you earlier on. As you can see, just by looking at a few of the titles, you can sort of see Russia's new territory, Ukrainian base destroyed. You can see what side of the line this guy will be standing. But nevertheless, it might be interesting to look at some of that shit. Oh man, this guy's such a fucking douchebag. In fact, I need to stop using that. It sounds too American. This guy's such a fucking numbnut, man. And if you play any more than that, man, he'll copyright strike you and fucking try to get it took down and all that, because you'll take the piss out his melted Wellington boot fucking face. And the fact he takes himself way too serious. And he's still milking this David Icke pish. And David Icke's still at his titty because I think, has David Icke been deplatformed and flung off and all that shit? I don't know. I don't give a fuck, and I've been away for so long. Has Icke been kicked off the YouTubes? Is he away over on the other social media with two people watching him going, YouTube's really bad, hoping to get back on it? Alien teeth, mate. Like, that's his fucking sex doll face, man. That's where you start fucking getting a good gumsy fucking off him when you're getting all your Bitcoin. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Oh God. Right. I just wanted to fucking point at this guy again. Please still be up. Ah, yeah. Now, in all honesty, you've got to be an extra special kind of fucking walloper to do this shit. He's wearing a wetsuit. Just watch this shit, man. See, what I would do is I would just stand there and let him do all that shit. And then after he's done all that, I just like that, with my baseball bat up, bang! 3 strikes and he's done. I know if he puts his arm up for the first strike, it's going to fucking break it, right? And then he's not going to block anything else with that fucking arm. Oh! And then once the first arm's broke with the first strike, they're like, oh! That's when you're like, batter over the head. Lance might not knock him the fuck out, but he'll be fucking sprawled over the fucking floor, and he certainly won't be like this. Indiana Jones style, you know what I mean? Just on there like, what are you doing, you fucking boom! Batter! The fucking walloper. Aye, mate. I don't know how many street fights I've seen when fucking cunts are prancing about like fucking some sort of a dickhead. How many street fights have you seen like this? Aye, mate. Mate, it's dead easy to dodge those punches when they're no fucking there. Seen some cunts fucking in the street, Indiana Jones styling you, man. Picking up the nearest blunt item to fucking rattle you with. If it's not a tumbler, just to fucking push in your face. What the fuck are you gonna do then? Listen to the trick. Aye, mate, throwing an elbow shows your street. By that time, the baseball bat's already broke both your fucking limbs, and you're like, don't hit me! No, man. Oh. And try to break this down as much as possible so you can't copyright strike it. Because this is for commentary. Because I'm commentating on what a fucking walloper this guy is. What the fuck are you wearing? What, are they your skinny jeans? Did you get them for Blazing? Or Alan? Imagine you seeing your neighbour out fucking in the back garden doing that, man. He'd well get the fucking Johnnies out, fill them with water and start rattling them off his head. He'll dodge him. Right, hold on, it gets better at the end. He starts actually arguing with somebody.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on. Sorry, man. This is comedy gold. Come on. He's shadow boxing, filming it, and putting it up on YouTube to make him look fucking hard. Oh, mate, I can't wait till some cunt breaks your fucking legs. You know, start a street fight with some cunt and you start going, come on. Oh, batter. Fucking tumble on the face. Take you to the ground and fucking eat your ears.
Come on.
Oh, he's getting tired now.
What you got, baby?
What you got, baby? What you got, baby? Come on, baby. Show me what you got, baby.
What you got, baby? We got home.
You know, in the middle of a fucking scrap, I always drop down and go, what you got, baby? This guy is something else.
All night. All night, baby. All night.
All night, baby.
All motherfucking night. Let's go. O2 Arena. Who wants some of this?
Oh, man. Right. Hold on, I might just go down to London and beat this cunt up with a baseball bat for fucking, for a good YouTube video.
That's what I thought.
My neighbour's fighting a ghost in the middle of the day. Oh, man. Oh, that fucking made my day when I seen that shit, man. Everybody knows how to use a VPN or whatever, you know. you're that desperate to watch RT. You know, I've not watched so much RT in about fucking 8 years. Since they put it behind an iron curtain. And hopefully it will touch on the. Oh, that was just wee birthday celebrations before the Aberdeen game. Oh, this is pretty cool. This is kind of footage. Yeah, man, it's like fucking Rambo fucking 9. I'm laughing at the comments about fucking Rose, whatever I forgot his name. Brian Rose? It's so good, I had him in there twice. Did I share that with you guys, man? I need to share that with you, man. That is just download it before the guy comes to his senses. Right. Now, this is fucked up. It's a sign that there's a war going on. But, well, in fact, there's no but. Although, it is hilarious to see both sides trying to demonise each other's side, the other side, for shutting down channels and internet sites and access, so on and so forth, when they're both doing it. And it's laughable because everybody knows that both of them are doing the exact same shit. But yet they still stand up there with a straight face and somehow, some way, spin it. So I'm going to guess this was a pro-Western news organisation inside Russia. The Independent Station! Now, the Russian state would say Russia today is independent. Swings and roundabouts. Well, one man's invasion is another Al Jazeera English. Now, interesting little fact about Al Jazeera. I don't know how old you are, if you can remember a day when Al Jazeera never existed. What did exist was BBC Arabia, I believe it was called. Now, BBC Arabia shut down, Al Jazeera opened up, the owners changed, a few people upstairs shiggled about and all that, but basically Al Jazeera moved right into the BBC Arabia's old studios, used a lot of their old staff, used a lot of their old reporters. Some would say it was basically BBC Arabia in all but name. and funding and small things like that. But basically the same shit. Some would say. Gotta love their music though, man. Keep
I heard it's just the opposite. They try to somehow protect the peaceful population as much as possible. I can't say I'd supported this from the beginning, but now I do support it.
Of course, we're led to believe that the West is the bastion of everything that's moral. So there's no way that they would influence, own, covertly run news organisations inside Russia to pump out their side of the story. No way!
Зрителей, самых вообще людей, которые абсолютно не умели оставаться безучастными. Самые неравнодушные люди на дожде, наши зрители, те люди, которые все это время были с нами. Спасибо вам. Простите.
You get the idea. Now, the truth always lies somewhere in the middle. But obviously the Western-led press, spearheaded here by Al Jazeera to give the illusion of some sort of independent reporting, when I explained to you the history of Al Jazeera, which puts it in a sort of a different light. It's more the mouthpiece for the Gulf states that are in the West's personal petrol stations for some time now. So, see what? Well, I'll give you a link to Big Marty's channel. You can go and check out his podcast and whatnot. I need to catch up myself, to be honest. But as you can see there, he's interviewing an MC, and I believe the MC's for his neck of the woods and the same criminal. That's what's pretty cool. I've not listened to it all yet, but I'll get around to it. Share the link if you want to go and check it out. So he seems to be doing a variety of content, so you can bounce along there and check it out. Abby Martin quit RT. Reactionary, all the limp-dicked guys in the truther movement were fucking gutted. Oh my god, what pair of talking tits am I going to get my news from now? Because it was RT America. Abby Martin and fucking YouTube personalities rapping the news to you. Anyway, there's Big Marty's link that I did share with you. My mouse is going mental. What is this? Ooh.
Donbass republics were officially recognized by Russia. We see here the signing ceremony with President Putin on February the 21st. After 8 years of war, or rather 8 years of the Donbass republics being under attack by Ukraine, both the republics swiftly appealed to President Putin for military assistance to end the conflict. President Putin announced Russia's military action with the following statement.
Pro-Russia
entity.
В связи с этим, в соответствии со статьей 51 частью 7 Устава ООН, санкции Совета Федерации России и во исполнение ратифицированных Федеральным собранием 22 февраля сего года договора.
I love all the rumours that he's mental, he's unstable, he's got cancer, he's on his deathbed. Next they'll be saying his wife's a tranny. Remember Michelle Obama being a tranny? And there was people pure fucking doing frame by frame analysis of her like that. Look! You can see the bulge! Fuck's sake, man, talking about getting gaslit. Poor woman. I mean, all the faults you could fucking point and fucking say about her. Just to put up with turning on the internet and everybody's calling her a tranny. That's some fucked up fucking trolling psychological fucking slanderous shit, man.
And with that, on February the 24th,
Smear campaign
of Ukraine telling us that they're at war with the Russian army in Donbass, Ukraine got to see the actual Russian army. As the Western media then rushed to tell us that Putin's reasons for sending the Russian army into Ukraine were a myth, a pretext, etc. That is, they refused to believe, or rather refused to report or convey to their readers and viewers that Putin's reasons for going into Ukraine were actually to end a war which seemed otherwise never ending, because the Ukrainians refused to accept that a place, that is Donbass, where surveys consistently showed over 90% of people opposed to Euromaidan, had the right to break away from rule by their Euromaidan regime.
Maidan, I was right.
The war in Donbass
Memory's better than I can
by Ukrainian
remember.
extremist, far right, yes, neo-Nazi organisations and battalions. And don't just take my word for it, here's either my own footage or verified footage from Donbass.
This is shameless fucking Russian propaganda shit, man.
Людей, которые здесь остались, молодых ребят, аппаратуры.
Well, you've got the details on your screen. If you want to go and find that yourself. Putting right about people. Blaze TV, no. No, man. I hate that guy, man, with a passion. When's this? 27th of February. What's kicking off in Kazakhstan as well? Now, just shooting through the hip, first impressions. If Russia's influence was getting challenged in Kazakhstan, I dare say they would resist. Because correct me if I'm not, is Kazakhstan not where they launch all their spaceship from? I might be wrong, but I again, shooting for the hips straight off the bat. That's what I'm thinking. Okie dokie, right, we'll do the sex quiz in a wee second. Let me get to wag the dog. Using a VPN. Found Pirate Bay. With a wag the dog link. That I managed to use and download. So if there's anybody wanting wag the dog free of charge, just using a torrent, boom shakalaka, there you go. Now, let me open. All good. Like that. Anyway, Ukraine accused Russian Navy of piracy. Usual shit, and this is happening in the Black Sea, I do believe. Crimea is, Russian fleet is and stuff. And for people that aren't familiar with the old geography and stuff. That's Crimea there, that wee island thing there. That's the Black Sea. The reason it's so important, I've forgot more than I can remember. But, and it's very interesting because of what's happened in Syria as well. So the Black Sea has a fleet, and they can come through the Phosphorus Straits, I think it's called, which by all sorts of international treaties and all that can get used by all sides at all times, kind of thing. The devil's in the detail. I'll give you the baton, go and check it out. But that gives Russia's fleet access to the Mediterranean. One of the reasons Russia was such a bitch to the west when it came to the west, when it came to Syria, is because they also have a naval base inside Syria. And I've got a fucking itch here. And they didn't want to give up their naval base in the Mediterranean, which is like one of their only, like one of the most warm, all year round warm water ports. I believe Crimea must freeze in the winter time, whereas their naval base inside Syria, which is the reason they stuck up for Syria so much, is warm water all year round, mobile all year round. And that's why these two areas are strategically so important to the Russian military, and why a lot of this all the other shite that's getting used as excuses to invade, not invade, take over, not take over, annex, not annex, so on and so forth. Like, it's a load of bullshit, made up fucking posturing bullshit excuses. And then ultimately I think it comes down to the strategic importance with those two areas. And also with NATO moving missiles close to the Russian border, which we do not want. We want some sort of a buffer zone. But anyway, so that was just the Russian Navy. Now, there's different ways you can look at this. You can look at it as a way of like the West trying to punish Russia, or you can look at it as the massive banking cabals taking advantage of a crisis to reshape the international monetary system. Just saying. People that know a lot more than me will understand this a lot more in depth. But we swift out the way, other things are going to come to the surface, and what you might find is Russia and China setting up their own shit to counter the West stuff. And there you have a currency war that succeeds borders. I don't know if that's the right word. Probably not, knowing me, but hey, I tried. EU bans broadcast by RT and Sputnik, and then earlier on we showed that clip of Al Jazeera pissing and moaning about Russia kicking out, shutting down news outlets in Russia. You can't have it two ways, man. Oh no, in fact they do want it that way because of course over here in the West, we're shutting down misinformation, Russian misinformation. Over in Russia, they're shutting down independent journalism. It's fucked up, man. In fact, it's not fucked up, it's fucking hilarious to watch. Brilliant to watch, man. World War III will be nuclear! Alex Jones commissioned this article. Down the bottom, you can click on the link and it takes you to Infowars and iodine pills. So, there's that. What the hell's this? Oh, this is RP Live. That you need a VPN to watch. But look at it. It's as good as watching it straight up. But as the VPN on Firefox. Shit.
Ahead of myself. But NATO is even dragging neutral nations into its schemes like EU member states and Switzerland. The mobility program forces Austria, Sweden and Finland to provide their transport capabilities to NATO to move its armed forces. This NATO-centric approach is becoming omnipresent and the EU meekly agrees to be an obedient appendix of the alliance despite loathing its role and declaring that Europe needs strategic autonomy. Then Ukraine, under President Yanukovych, simply decided to take a short pause before signing the association agreement with the EU, because it contradicted the already existing free trade area agreement in the Commonwealth of Independent States. And when that happened, the Maidan protests were orchestrated from Brussels.
Ding! What he's talking about is Yanukovych. There was a war between the Russian Federation and the EU for them to sink their economy with X or Y. He was going to sign with Europe, as you heard there. He paused, i.e. was going to do a U-turn and go with Russia. And then next thing you know, there's fucking paramilitary forces in the Independence Square. Rioting and overthrowing Yanukovych. But of course, Putin started all this.
They did it because Yanukovych realized that it was necessary to harmonize trade with Russia, the Commonwealth of Independent States in Europe. That was the only reason. The protests turned into a violent conflict in February 2014. Yanukovych was willing to stop this, and he signed the agreement on the settlement of the political crisis in Ukraine, promising that he would organize an early election, which he would not have won. Poland, France and Germany were the guarantors of that agreement. After the opposition staged a coup and trampled over these agreements, the guarantors just stayed silent, didn't say anything, or even welcomed these putschists taking power.
Well, you got a flavour there. I shared the link. You can go and watch it in its entirety if you want, but it's always interesting to listen to the other side. And remember, the West have to paint these people as despots and crazy and nuts and off their heads. He's crazy, he's mental, he's fucking affisid, he's fucking Russia, he's fucking Russia. Otherwise, if you dare listen to what they are actually saying and consider it, just run it through the is this a possibility section of your brain, then you might see things differently. from what Bobo and Mr. Strictly Come Dancing president is telling you. Maybe. I'm not going to do that. Telegram. I think RT is on Telegram. How to access RT. That's that. And then the proxy way. This is Hunters Pirate Bay proxies that if you wanted to you could get Wag the Dog. Otherwise you need to pay for it. So it's been an hour and a half. Make sure you thumbs it up, it's much appreciated. It helps the algos and it helps me sleep easy at night. It helps me drift away into the clouds. So make sure you thumbs it up. Tune in next Tuesday for another Not the Infowars Nightly News. The original. The OG, baby. Alternative look at the alternative media. Skeptical. Very spectacles about the so-called skeptics and watching the motherfucking Watchmen. And at the moment, I'm going to do daily war updates. I'm watching that piss anyway. I'm shouting at my TV. Typically it annoys me so much that I need to turn off. So I need some encouragement to actually maybe stomach a wee bit of it. And share with you guys and girls. So we're doing that. So stick a wee thumbs up. It's much appreciated. Thanks everybody for joining. Tune in next Tuesday at 9 o'clock or maybe 8. It's hard to stay awake nowadays. And tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. A ball here after it. Just need to mute up. Pause up the streams that I'll be using. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Davo reaction today, blazing. Who cares? In the evening, gents. O'Toole. In the evening. Reactionary, who cares? Nemesa. OG Sky Watcher. Sky Watch, how you doing, my man? Dabble. Probably. Punk's on the whiskey was in early as well. Kirks was in as well. How you doing, man? Going in. Roberto Carlos. Or Roberto Rhymes. He's now more sorry. Call him all sorts of names. Right, so I'll catch you tomorrow. Have a good evening, y'all. That's 10:30. I'm going to go and chill out. But watch some Rick and Morty. I'm thinking. Some new Rick and Morty. Oh, and see anybody that enjoys. Anyway, long story short, go and check out Guardians of Justice. It's fucking hilarious. It's a bit like Deadpool on steroids. But it's a bit like Deadpool meets Roger Rabbit as well. I know. Because it's obviously got your fucking anti-superheroes. That makes sense. But it's got some cartoon overlaid bits on it, which is just it sounds bizarre, but it's done amazing. You would have seen nothing fucking like it. And the comedy in it is fucking hilarious, man. Absolutely hilarious. I loved it. Anyway, that's something to check out. And thanks for listening, you all. And hopefully I'll catch you tomorrow at 1 o'clock or next Tuesday. Night all. Night punk. Keeps clear.
Tonight at 11.
Remember, citizens, all subscribe, hit the bell. $19.95 plus shipping and handling will keep you out of here. veggies.
Cips Clip. Tonight at 11.
Doom! It's a plan! And I'm angry! I'm not a slave! I've broken the conditioning! It doesn't work on me! I'm primitive, I'm real, I know the enemy, and if we can have this spirit of normal humanity spread, it's over for the globalist! Break the conditioning now! Excuse me.
This is not the Infowars Nightly News, where the answer to 1984 is not $19.95 plus shipping and handling, but the answer is to try and understand the double barrel bullcrap, the double speak, and the Orwellian wonderland we now find ourselves in. So sit back and relax as I take you through a real alternative look at the news and so-called alternative media alike. Enjoy.
Cips Clip.